Dummy switch part. The boys are
Yes,
back. How are you, Chris?
yes, sir. Kodas, I'm good. I'm still wearing the jersey, so I haven't burnt it yet. So nah, man, I'm good. Kodas, solid weekend of rugby, and
Uh,
yourself?
good
Mm-hmm.
myself, good myself. The Dan Carters of podcasting here to give you
Uh-huh.
our opinions, our flagrant
Mm.
takes. Church announcements, you can find us here, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and leave comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know when we are wrong. Let us know when we are right. Um,
At the end of the day, it's our opinion. Salah.
yeah. Yeah, that's all it is. Not really much news this week. It's just alignment
Yeah.
camps. Yeah, must sometimes I wonder about the feeling in that room,
Mm.
the guys you're competing against, especially as it is such a
Yeah,
broad
it's big.
group, if it's just the normal Bok guys, you kind of there's more of a camaraderie than a rivalry, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wonder what it's like in those sessions. The Chitukas, I know they've been excluded because their IDs haven't come, but that's kind of the only news this week, and then it's just the game.
Mm. Yeah, look, good to see the guys in Bok colors, in the
Mm.
training kit doing their thing. Getting ready for that plastic unity season again. So
Stronger
I'm just
together.
saying, I'm just saying, you know what it is. It's that period now.
Yeah,
We're leading up to that. But yeah, look, just that one game, Sharks. I think look, they did enough just to win the game. Um,
yeah,
wasn't the most exciting like it was. I won't lie, especially if you just the neutral at Ellis Park the week
yeah.
before. But I think in terms of what the Sharks needed to get out of this game, they did. Although I also believe in some cases, especially after they started making changes, the Bok guys coming off, yeah, they were a bit lucky to escape with that one. For me, because the Lions, I think they'll be looking at this one and saying, "Hey, we missed an opportunity here." Hey, that's just my opinion.
I agree somewhat. Although I will say the Lions actually find themselves in the same situation of I believe some of the replacements were costly. If you look at
Mm,
the penalty that Hendrickson milked,
yeah.
it's a replacement. If you look at the kickoff that wasn't taken, ultimately it
Mm,
was another replacement, both flanks, that two major moments where the Sharks took the lead. So took the lead and then built it on the lead. So
yeah.
that I think we're in the same boat in terms of replacements. So yeah, but I mean, Sharks just got it over the line. Background to this game, Sia back starting again with Williams.
Mm,
We saw what they brought last game, and they've
yeah.
just continued in this game.
Yeah. And I think that was also really the difference, is that yeah, with the Sharks, they had the bulk guys,
Mm,
there, and they stepped it up a bit more, especially with those changes with Williams and Kolisi starting. I think yeah, that was good. I think they had a solid shift, and big
yeah.
part of what the Sharks built was on the back of a lot of those Springbok guys. Yes, team efforts and everything, but those guys did make a difference. And I think it it goes back to that thing of consistency and being able to back it up. One part of the Lions, the other side is also the Sharks. Considering the kind of results that they've had, it's just up and down. Like I said last week, you don't know which Sharks team is going to show up. And
You actually literally don't know which Sharks team is going to show up because injuries. You look
yeah,
at
as well.
Hendricks being moved to 10 again. We trapped
Mm,
in the
mm.
cycle of Hendrickson, Masuku. And then you know what's going to happen? Like we saw the performances this week, we saw the missed kicks. We're going to land up back. Sia has a good
Yeah,
game, and then it's Sia as the starting 10. That's
yeah.
it's going to happen again. And then you've got a guy like Immelman, who majority of
Hey,
us, when he was named on the
hey.
team sheet, we didn't even know he was in Durban.
I also didn't know. I didn't know. That caught me by surprise, I think, as well, But yeah, you're quite right, in pointing out, the number of injuries and things like that, But look, Hendricks, I think he had a solid enough showing. at 10. Yeah, kicking off the tee was very poor,
Ah,
you know. I
no,
think
no, no, no.
for what they were
Hendricks was terrible, man. Hendricks was terrible. Let's be honest. Let's be
for
honest.
me because yes we got the result, he drove sufficiently, or was competently enough, to to get us there. Maybe I should use the right adjective to say he was competent enough for us
Yeah.
to get the job done from what we
Okay,
needed
that's fair.
for for a 10 coming in, you know what I mean, with that change that was. But yeah, overall, I think it also just it papers over the Sharks' issues. They don't know who really. For me, it's like they don't know who they call guys are, because
Yeah.
everybody, the performance is always up and down. So it's going to be difficult to build a solid contending team. Yeah, you talk about the Shield. Who remembers the Shield? Who won the Shield last year? I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying. But overall, I think solid enough, as a team, because their backs were against the wall. At the end of the day, I think that was also another driving
Yeah.
factor, is that, there's just so many things, and they had to, they had to, by hook or by
Yeah.
crook, somehow get that. And yeah, that's why I say they just did enough to get it over the line, but it still doesn't paper over the issues.
Yeah. Positives, I will say, is that they were able to show their playing style. I got to
Yeah,
see a bit of the Sharks when the Sharks are on form.
yeah,
When they got to put phases together and they got their hands going and the ball was moving.
yes. A good
You know,
first
it,
try, that one.
yeah, I mean, even the first try, they managed to find space out wide. There was another break in the game, can't quite remember where it was almost another try because they found, yeah, it was off the Koch intercept.
Yeah,
They found space wide again, which is something that they didn't do in the first game between these two. So
yeah.
it's good to see the playing style is back. There were bright performances. I think this is the best I've seen Fenter play for the Sharks.
I
Like
was, I
that.
was,
Yeah,
I was, I would lie. Like while I was watching, I was thinking, hey, and I'm still over this guy. But today,
yeah,
like on Saturday, he showed, okay, that experience, it was a solid number 12 performance. He was getting over, straightening the line, getting over the advantage line.
yeah,
And I think defensively as well, he stood up. And I think as well, and again, for me, it still goes back to the fact that it's because the backs were against the wall,
yeah,
and there was no choice, there was nothing else. Yes, they have their processes and things like that, but if you look at that performance and you look at how even the Lions had opportunities to actually, if they controlled the ball better, took more of their opportunities. The Lions were always in that game. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
like you expected that the Lions would win. Naturally. But the fact of the matter is, the reality is that the opportunity was there for them, and the Sharks. Yes,
Let me just tell you something. That last 20, I was close to pressing that button on Bedway
yeah,
when they were behind by three. I think they were behind just a few
yeah. I think
points, and
it
I
was
was
by
like,
two. I think
20 to go. We're behind. I almost pressed that button, but I was like, no, no,
yeah.
no, no. The feeling, it was lingering, but it wasn't fully there. So yes, they did well to stay in it. They did well to
Mm.
hang around, and especially close that gap when the
Especially
Sharks
after the Sharks
looked,
start.
yeah, when the Sharks got two scores ahead. So
Yeah.
yes, they did do well, to get that pin. We've now got a reliable goal kicker in Gianni Lombard, where the Sharks, the goal kicking, that goes back to Hendrickson
Hey,
not having a good game. I think he missed about
hey,
three or four.
hey,
I think he
man.
missed three, then the brother missed one, if I'm not mistaken. But
Mm.
the Lions hung around. You've got that goal kicker now running it back. They got that try through, I think, Creel. So that was
Yeah, that's
good. But
great.
again, like I said, it's the replacements making mistakes there. It's the
Yeah.
kickoff, the restart. We considered that try from the restart. The Sharks dominating in the scrum for majority of the not majority, the
Mm.
whole game they were dominating in the scrum.
Yeah. Yeah. And and again, it's the box. you know,
Yeah,
that's the thing about, and that's why I've always said the next guys, because clearly now we see. take Ox out of the equation, you know. I can see Bongi, but take Ox out of the equation. It's a different looking scrum, you know. And for
Yeah,
me, I think this game highlights just how big Ox is, you know. And it
yeah,
further, you know, you can further understand why Kunu left because you know what, that's that's the top guy. You know, he's going to when he's available and there's no Springbok restrictions, he's going to start because that's how much of an impact he has. You know, big difference to Shaw Scrum this week and last week. You know,
yeah.
um, and just in general, even just the work of the forward pack. The forwards, look, they really
Yeah, they
did
were a
well
lot more
with
direct. They were a lot more
yeah,
direct. I mean,
yeah,
the pick and goes, and the rolling pick and goes, not just
yeah,
one, then we play the backs. The ones where
yeah,
the scrum off allows you guys to just go, go, go. One guy
yeah.
goes, picks up, next guy goes, picks up. A lot more direct, route one. And
Because the previous week they were getting beat on, you know, so they had to they had to step it up and show that no, we can also, you know, we can also to beat up on
yeah,
you guys. And I think that was really also the difference. And look, the opportunities, the Sharks, they took them brilliantly. You know, look, you know, there was some nice things, you know, happening in that game, you know, but just in terms of building a solid, consistent sort of 40 minutes, building up to that, you know, 60, 80 you know, I think for them there's a lot left there, you know, where you can see there's still a lot of room for improvement. Yes, they're better off than where they were last season, but you know,
yeah.
for a team of this caliber, you expect this to be, you know, yeah, this is should be their lowest, you know, where okay, we can accept you just scraping wins, you know, but
Yeah.
the consistency for me, you know, because yeah, I mean, it doesn't help one week you say, ah, no, yeah, you know, and then the next week it's something different, you know. So glad
Personally,
of
I
the
think
win,
it'll.
but
Yeah, I think that's just gonna continue. I won't.
yeah,
I won't lie. I think I'd rather it not happen for the Sharks, but I think that's just what's gonna continue to happen. Is that it's just gonna be this week by week thing, and
yeah,
I mean, even for themselves, I wonder how it must be. Where you guys are even like, the guy next to you, like, is this guy gonna show up this week, or is he gonna be how he was
yeah.
last week? So it's,
You see,
that's and when the problem is when you get deeper and deeper into the competition, now you're looking at a quarterfinal, and every second week this guy is suspect.
yeah,
So, or
uh,
second, even yourself, every second week you have to look at yourself and say, hey, I don't know why they paid me today. So that's the thing. But what I will say is I commend them. 10 minutes to go, they got the yellow card, and then
yeah,
they showed a level of seriousness and game control
yes.
that that's what winning sides do.
Mm,
So I will say on the positive side, the scrum was a massive positive for me, the return of
yes,
the playing style, and then the seriousness shown in those last 10 minutes with the yellow card. Because once that yellow card came, they completely shut the Lions out the game.
yeah.
It's like it flipped
But
the switch within them. I think if they had stayed 15 men, they would have lost.
I think also the shift in defense. They were not passive as they were at Ellis Park. You know, they were getting up the line, up off the line. They were hitting guys. You know, they were. You
Yeah.
know what we were talking about last week. That hit somebody, get up there, and even the carries. There's more purpose, like you said. You know, direct as well. So you have to credit, like we said again, the pack. You know, stepping up. Even the guys that came on. You know, guys like even a Cornerell, Fez Mbata, what a play at the end there,
Mm.
you know, and it sort of reminds me of that form that he had in the Curry Cup as well, where he was looking good, you know. So hopefully he can stay fit as well, and you know
Yeah.
maybe stake a claim to say, hey, listen, I'm here. You know, that's what you want to see. You know, uh,
Hatton
Nick
as well.
Hatton
He
is
brought
yeah.
some energy.
Yeah, you feel for a guy like Hakim Gunen, he was on and then he was off. You
Mm.
know, it didn't. But you know, when he was on, I think there was a few nice touches that you saw from him where he looked threatening. But yeah, overall, like I say, there's nothing really like wow about it. You know, it's just they did what they had to do to get the win under the circumstances. You know, the question is now, can they,
Yeah,
and we've asked this before, can they build on this, you know, to because they're in the top half of the table, you know, so there's a decision that needs to be made here. I'd say where you
yeah.
say, okay, these are the core guys that are going to take us deep. Let's finish this thing,
But that's my
you know.
thing where similarly to the Bulls, where it's Moody and Hanekom. However far those two take them is however far the team goes. It's looking like it's the same for Sia and Grant Williams. If those two
And Ox in the
and
scrums.
Ox, so it's just how far these guys are going to take them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if those three can pull everybody else up, then I guess there's time for a run. With the
Maybe
Lions,
there's hope.
yeah, then there's hope. Lions coming into it. Fenta injured. JC Pretorius also injured. Last week we spoke about him having to start, over
Yeah.
Keynes, and Keynes came in and then put in a performance. He put in a
No, he put
performance.
in
I
a
think
shift, eh?
yeah, he had 4 or 5 turnovers. That's one
Yeah.
area where the Lions were dominating the game is at the breakdown.
Yes. And that's where the Sharks that's where the doors open, so they slow to the clean, the supporting
Yeah,
play. They're just that maybe 2 seconds late, they were not connected enough, and that's what kept the door open for the Lions, but like you said, Cairns was big. I think Koma as well had a solid,
yeah,
outing. It wasn't one of those. He physically, he did his job carrying, and hitting those rocks and making the tackles. I think maybe a guy like Landsberg would be a bit disappointed, in terms of some of the micro skills, the handling, but uh, like I say, overall, looking at the lines, look at Faflight. Faflight, he just looks a class above. Honestly speaking,
yeah.
right now he's just looking some other type of confident, which I like. It's nice to see,
Man
and
of the
him with that
match.
option. Yeah, him with that option, being able to kick left off the left boot, right boot, is a different dynamic. He's like he's playing as almost as good as some other number nine. They say is a coach. He's doing the same thing. So maybe I'm just Lombard, since he's gotten his opportunity here, he
Yeah,
has been consistent. He's backed it up, backed it up, backed it up. And even in this game where look, there's still something in it for them, and he showed, the back line, everybody that's coming for the Lions, like I say, that starting team, I think they did they'll be mad at themselves because they
yeah,
really they could have done a back to back here and they couldn't, but they were also not terrible. Which for me, if you're the Lions, you're a bit more happier than the Sharks, because these are the guys you got.
yeah.
These are the guys you got. We got a whole cabinet full of guys, and we don't even know who's who. And so yeah, but they'll be disappointed though because they let
Yeah,
themselves down and a lot of
they
it
were
discipline.
I mean, even if you saw Vandenberg post match when he got the man of the match, the guy was sick. You could see it in his
Yeah,
face. He was
yeah.
he the dejection you could hear in his voice, the mood.
Mm,
So I mean, they will have wanted to win this one. Like I said, they did good to hang in. If you look at the tries, bad Sharks restart. Hendricks are dropping the
yeah,
ball again. Hendricks, so that's why I say this guy had a bad game. But then it's a scrum in the middle. Scrum in the middle. That's for me.
yeah,
That's when backline coaches are now, rubbing their hands together like Birdman. Scrum in the middle
yeah,
under the poles because what I love what they did is when they stack all the backs basically behind the scrum and then you don't know which way they're
yeah,
gonna break, and then
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
hands. Lombard is shown his drawing and passing skills are so good. That late
yeah.
release that he has just to draw the defender, Mafura try. Yeah, there were
A- a-
positives. Yep.
and even there, Mafura, that try, if you look at it, just as Lombard's making that pass, the adjustment he makes to his running line, the feet there,
Yeah.
that ability to make that adjustment, under that pressure and go on and score the try. That's what I was saying. These guys that got their opportunities for the Lions, they've just, they've continued to back it up,
Yeah.
to say, because yes, Lions are missing a Q and Horn because he brings a different dynamic, but with Mafura, you solid enough as well. There, you
Yeah.
covered. And that's why I say they'll be mad at themselves because they somewhat played with their food, the Lions, a little bit. Considering that you're away from home, you already know the Sharks are gonna this one. They have to because they're at home.
Yeah.
And you just need to make sure you just that 1% better, and you get the result. And I think that was the difference.
For me, areas need to work on poor chasing lines, Every
Mm,
time the Sharks like ran it back, they were just finding holes. They
mm,
were just finding holes and making. I mean, how many clean breaks did the Sharks have in that game? There were a lot of opportunities
mm.
for both sides, but at the same time, there were a lot
Yes.
of mistakes. So chasing lines, that's something that they really need to work on. The scrums, they're gonna have to get it together. I know it's Ox, so I'm not expecting, and it's a solid scrum, throughout the season. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
it
put this
is.
one up to Ox being there. And yeah, it's just for me, it's just the replacements then. They just need better integration. And I won't lie, like Steenkamp, not really big fan of his. Haven't really seen him much. But it's that thing of
Yeah.
in high school at Gray he was good, but I don't know. I'm not too big on him.
I think he's the one
Uh
that Hendrickson milked that penalty here. There was just no
yeah,
intensity in him getting up. And you're a sub, hey, that should be the one that's
yeah,
got the energy, because he was just slow getting up. And you don't do that around Hendrickson. Everybody knows what Hendrickson is going to do in that situation,
yeah,
So yeah, so when you look at that, effectively, if you look at it, you're not going to put it on him, but it's almost you cost the team the opportunity to win the game, and you handed the game straight to the Sharks because that's the 25, right? So
yeah.
yeah, but we haven't, like you said, we haven't seen enough of him at this level. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, the subs, but
Then it was Esterhazen, Izan Esterhazen as well. He didn't catch the from the restart. I mean, he had a big
mm,
game in European competition, but I mean, since then, you haven't really seen him around. So it's those next wave of guys that I mean, you have to step up. Those
yeah,
guys, it's also those guys. They're not careful. They'll end up playing SA Cup. Also, it's like they're waiting. It's like they're waiting for Curry Cup. You can't wait for Curry Cup. When you get
mm,
these chances, is when you're supposed to
you got
play.
to take them. You have to take
Yeah.
them. It's what we've been saying, because yes, we can defend guys and say, no, it's not playing. Hey, my man, it's your job, this thing, you're training this thing,
Mm.
so it's your audition when you get picked in the match day 23 to say, okay, go show us what you've been doing. Because clearly
Yeah.
you're doing something good there in order for you to be in the match day 23. So, take the chance.
Renzo Duplessis is at alignment camps. He could have been on the bench,
You see?
So there's other guys that also want that chance, but I mean,
Mm,
can't really say much else. Just happy about the breakdown. That was positive, hanging in the game. We
mm,
seemed to have kind of weathered the whole situation with Nohamba, where we are looking for a fly half. Now we've got a fly half.
yeah.
The centers Raz can come in, the back Mafura can come in. So
Mm,
I guess those are positives. We're gonna lose Marius Low. I mean, we'll see. Jonker, he comes in, he does well, but again, we're gonna have to recruit another center. It's I don't
yeah.
think yeah, I don't think we're that stacked in that position, and we're gonna need someone to
Yeah.
to to play, push Venter. I
Yeah.
mean, push Jonker. So
Push Yonkaya there at 12, because okay, Russ now he's taking his chance, so him and Van Fake, okay, those are the top two dogs there,
yeah,
so at 12, I think, yeah, you're going to be a bit lean, but yeah, like overall, like I said, for me, it wasn't like that much of an exciting game, like the one at Ellis Park,
yeah,
especially execution wise, this one, I think it suited the Sharks a bit more, it being a bit more stop start, a bit slower. I
yeah,
think it played more into the Sharks game where they could dictate the tempo when they wanted to, as opposed to the Lions. So those little subtle things, I think that's what all played in the Sharks' favor. At the end of the
mm,
day. But yeah, look, we take the win. Quarters. I still back the boys. I still back the boys.
yeah,
But we still in reality of the issues are still there. They need to be sorted out. That's the truth. With better position, yes, but yeah, we can
yeah.
do better. We can do better.
Yeah, I think the boys have the week off, and then Lions going away on tour. Sharks, Zebra, Bulls play Leinster. Leinster are probably going to send a B team or a C team actually, and
We
then you
never
got the
know.
Stormers going on tour as well to Scarlets.
To Scarlets,
Yeah, hopefully some of the Stormers guys are back. I think it's about that 4 week mark that they had said that they're going to start reassessing guys. So
mm,
We'll see
Hey,
from
so
there.
there's
We'll see
there's still
from
a
there.
lot of things to happen, because all of a sudden maybe with those guys coming in, plus now, must remember now there's some of the guys at Bok alignment camp, they can come back with an extra strength, extra everything,
Yeah,
and it can be a very interesting finishing off to the C2. I think it's 7 game, running in 7 games from next weekend, I think, and then yeah,
yeah.
it's knockouts, so
Lions at
yeah.
8. Hey, but that middle of the table is congested. But we must just hang around. We must just hang around, and then
Yeah,
we'll
I can
sneak
still do
somewhere.
something, and the Sharks can also, for me, they can lock themselves there at fourth, or you know even sneak third from the Bulls. I don't see Glasgow and Leicester slipping up or dropping too many points.
Yeah,
But there's opportunities there for both for the Bulls, for the Sharks, to and the Lions as well. But overall, I think for everybody, and you can't tell me this is not the best competition. You can't tell me that. Not even Super Rugby was this tight. I mean, it's only the last place team where it's like, nah, my man.
it's
You
more
know,
competitive, but Super Rugby will always be Super Rugby. It's got
it's entertaining. Yeah, no, we
that
understand.
one that got away. It's that one you're
Yeah,
married now. You're married, but you're still thinking about that girl. That you
yeah.
married, but you still hey those times were good. Those times they never lasted, but they were good.
Yeah.
So hey,
You're right,
but
Curtis.
yeah.
You're right. Because we all know we still watch. We all still watching. Let's not lie. Let's not lie.
Yeah, I'm still watching. And then, like you said, alignment camps first test is in July, so we're edging closer and closer and closer.
Mm,
This is also
mm.
when we must start getting stricter on players, because there's gonna guys,
Yeah.
you've got guys that are gonna start stating their ambition closer and closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also time for
Mm.
us to, that as much as it's a big group of players, they're gonna also experiment with players. But when it comes to the main guys
Yeah.
and that match day 23 on a game where it's not your Georgias, your Italies, it's now
Yes.
France, it's now England. It's
Mm.
you want to see proper guys. You want to see proper
Yeah.
guys.
I do want to see the double World Cup winning standards.
Hmm.
That's what we want to see. That's what we expect. Because they've set the bar. So it's that or nothing.
Yeah. Any
Yeah,
any
man.
closing remarks from you?
Look, we'll take the week off. No, we'll reconvene.
Yeah, I think that's it from us, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for
All
listening.
right. So, yeah.